Hey, this is Henny, aka Rowdy ReidGirl, coming at you with some cat chat. Now, this is a bit of a hot button issue, I know, for some people, and it is quite controversial. There are a lot of arguments for and against, but one thing I do feel extremely passionate about is spaying and neutering. What actually prompted me to have such an emotional response, why I wanted to actually talk about this today, is because I saw a post on Facebook about 3 days ago. A lady was expressing her absolute disgust at her neighbour, and this woman's neighbour had two female cats, and neither of them was spayed, and they were both pregnant with kittens. And they were just kittens themselves. I think they were less than a year old. My God, I was fuming at that one. All my guys are de-sexed the minute they're of age because it's just so many things that spaying and neutering protects them from. Now, this woman was saying that her neighbour, her silly neighbour with the kittens, the kittens were born, and she said, I'm not going to get them spayed or neutered either. I don't believe in it. And the woman in question who put the post on Facebook said, well, are you going to get the two females spayed to protect them? And the silly neighbour replied, no way, not without their consent. Spay and neuter. There are so many unwanted kittens across the world put into shelters, and in some cases high kill shelters where they're killed for space. Now they say the word euthanize, but euthanasia actually translates from the Greek as a good death. To me, euthanasia means doing the animal a favour if they're suffering, they're dying of cancer, yes, but killing healthy fur babies for space that could have been prevented. And there are cheap spay and neuter programs. Like over here in New Zealand, there was the $9 snip and chip, where they'd be spayed and neutered and microchipped for their safety and for the fur parents' peace of mind. Yeah, all my guys went for a group microchip one day, and we were going to go and do the free one, but yeah, they were screaming so much in the car. It was like, okay, let's pull over and let's go to the normal vet. We'll pay the full price. It doesn't matter, because those cats wanted out of the car. But on a serious note, there are so many things that can happen if you don't spay or neuter. FIV, which is the precursor to feline AIDS, feline leukemia, feline chlamydia, which is actually fatal in cats, and FIP, feline infectious peritonitis, which is actually, funnily enough, I was astounded to hear this. I had no idea, but it was part of the COVID family. It's part of the coronavirus family, and that works very, very swiftly. There is no treatment, there is no vaccine, and there is no cure. And that is transmitted through blood-to-blood contact or through a bit of ooh la la. So aside from all these unwanted kittens that are at shelters, or in the worst cases, you read about on social media, oh, these kittens were found dumped in a box, dumped in a bag. It's such a shocking waste when it could have been prevented. And yes, I get very emotional about this because I am one of the fur parents online trying to find fosters and adopters for these unwanted fur babies that didn't ask to be born. So yeah, I know this is a hot button issue, and I'm probably going to get a bit of a hard time from people who might be against it, but it's animal cruelty not to do it. All those diseases they can pick up, and of course, when a cat goes in heat, or if the male cat's feeling particularly frisky around that time of year, it's getting into summer, they go wandering. They go wandering for weeks on end. And of course, okay, we don't have coyotes, wolverines, and other predators here in New Zealand, like in the US, or badgers. Badgers can be, they're cute, but they're really vicious in the UK. Over here in New Zealand, Cats, you know, can go wandering, they can be hit by cars, attacked by dogs, possums, other feral cats, stoats, rats. The list goes on. So a neighbour of mine once said, oh, because I'm a boy and my little wee boy, you know, he's a boy, I can't do it, I can't get rid of his nads, it's cruelty. And I turned around and said, it's cruelty not to. You're saving lives. Like, I know where my guys are almost all the time. They're not prisoners in the house, but they go in and out the cat door, and I know that they're safe. They're playing in the garden, they're jumping on the roof, they're being absolutely stupid, and sometimes I have to stand out there like this, like I'm ready to catch a football or a rugby ball, Fippy, when she's been stuck up on the roof. But I know they're safe, they're happy, and they're healthy. And that, I think, is what every cat mum wants. So spay and neuter. We can't have any more kittens having kittens, because kittens, their bodies, their bones are still very, very soft. They haven't formed properly. So, you know, the same way that women in Victorian times died in childbirth, these kittens under the age of 8 months old, they can die from having litters too. Spay and neuter. Save a life. That's what every cat mum wants. Safe, happy, and healthy fur kids that live a long, happy, healthy life. And they will thank you for it. Until tomorrow, you have a great day. And remember, take care of those fur kids of yours. Meow!